Well, this is the path going up to the goat pasture. Goat barn's over there, up there. And you can see the path that I'm supposed to be able to walk through. Here's the bridge. I guess I'll be driving out to check the goats today. Instead of Stoney Creek, I guess we're going to call this the Raging River Show. Well, no walking out to check the goats today. We're going to be driving. Go ahead and hop on in. Let's go see what's going on. Creek's way up today. It's almost up here to the road. Well, let's keep on going, make sure the biddies are doing alright. It's been raining about 5 days straight here. We've had an exceptionally dry winter, which of course we welcome the rain. Let's stop here. Let me back up a little bit. This is part of the pasture. It's been so brown and dry that it's definitely needed the rain. I'm not sure we've needed 5 days worth of it all at once though. That creek's normally always dry except for when it rains, and oh my gosh, it's really flooded out. Let me back up, take a look at that guy too. I'm gonna have to watch that it doesn't wash out my fence. Now that creek's taking a new path. Probably kind of hard to see it in the video. Let me see if I can zoom in. That's normally dry, except during the wet season. But you can see that creek's taking a new path that's running along my fence line, so I'm gonna have to watch that. Make sure it doesn't wash out. Here's the culprit. This is the ditch over on this side, just filled with water. Here's where that creek would go through right there. I've got someone behind me, so I'm gonna have to hurry up here. See if I can set this down so you guys can see what's going on. As miserable and wet and muddy as this is, I think I'm just going to park here and walk down to the barn. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off now, and I'll turn it back on once we get down to the barn there. Hello, girls. The puppy dogs. That barnyard is just soaked. Looks like all the mamas have their babies inside though. This is a little area. It's kind of hard to see it, but there's a hole right there. Babies can get in here, but dogs and moms can't. Just kind of a nice little area for them to hang out in. Looks like everyone's nice and dry. Babies laying down everywhere. It's a little damp, it's not too bad. You can see my truck up there to give you an idea how far I had to walk down here to the barn. Now you can't really see it from here. The house is over on that other tree line on the other side of the creek. Normally I would walk down through the front yard, across the creek, there's a little path through the woods, come up through here and walk this way. See if we can see the creek from this side. But as you saw, that creek's just impassable. Looks like the lower side of the pasture is pretty wet right now too. Pasture's going to enjoy this green though. We actually don't have a whole lot of open meadow out here. We're pretty much in the woods. But goats like woods, so that's okay. I'm going to cut this off for a minute. It's going to be hard for me to do morning chores and hold the camera at the same time. But I'll turn it on here in a minute. We'll chat some more. Well, since it looks like everyone's fairly dry and happy, let's go take a walk back up to the truck. We'll drive around and see what the south pasture looks like, south woods. Just a miserable day. Nice and raining. Walk back up here to the truck. my path here is pretty squishy, so I'm glad I didn't bring the truck down through here. Leave a lot of ruts. You can see I've got standing water. Oop, I walked past the truck. Yeah, I'm getting this other gate. We always close the roadside gate for that just in case we've got any escapees. There's still going to be should say escapees from that gateway down there. This way they can't just get out. I'm going to let you guys stay in here where it's nice and dry while I go lock that gate up. Hopefully this will stay here on my dash. Okay. Sometimes I even wonder why I lock that gate up. All that's going to do is keep an honest person honest, but it makes me feel better, so we lock it up every time. We'll go see how the south pastures, south woods are doing since I'm out and about. My camera battery actually says I've only got about 3 minutes left, so hopefully we can make this quick. There's the creek again. I'm back, the battery's charged now. It actually stopped raining a little bit here, so I figured we'd take a walk around, check out the other animals. Actually, I already got everything fed while I was waiting for the battery to charge. We've got the little chickens. I'll walk around, we can see them better from the other side. That's not really a coop, that's just a building to help protect their food. This certainly isn't all of them. Here comes the little girl peeking out. Several of them are already roosting in for the evening. But they've enjoyed being out today. They've been cooped up in their building for the last 2 or 3 days. And here it was somebody actually threw down some straw. There's pros and cons about putting straw in a lot. For the short-term fix, it certainly beats them sinking up to their ankles in mud. It's just been torrential rain, steady rain, off and on for the last 4 or 5 days. Dogs don't know what to think. These 2 pups, actually when I first got them, were raised in here with the chickens until they were big enough to go in with the goats. So that's why they like hanging out over here next to the chicken wire. I could still put them back in there and not have any problems at all. Now the dogs out in the big goat pasture, in my doe pasture, they would probably eat these chickens. This guy's a little junior buck. We bought him last summer. He's grown out quite a bit. The 2 on either side are getting ready to go to the freezer March 15th. Once this paddock grows up some more, we'll be putting them over there. Here's our mini mule. He doesn't like cameras. He's camera shy. There's old Cheddar Bob. He's a pretty laid back buck. He produced a bunch of kids for us this year. We're all happy. 2 paddocks over. I don't know if you can, let me see if I can zoom in. I don't want to go through all the gates to get over there. But this started out being our quarantine pen. I bought some new goats. And she had 2 babies in November. So they're growing up just fine. That's a little girl goat. We still don't have a name for her, and you can't hardly see him. He's hiding, but there's a little buck goat in behind their mother. Their mother's name, she came to us name, registered name is Tallulah. That's a little yearling doe. She'll be bred this year. And then this doe, this little girl I think we got the bonus package with. I bought her this fall as an open doe. I was going to have her bred. She never would come into heat, and within the last probably couple of weeks she's starting to make a bag and get pretty wide. So I think we got the bonus package and we're going to have some March kids with her. So that'll be pretty exciting. There's that little buck kid. He doesn't have a name either. Maybe if you guys think of some good names, just put them in the comments. He's had some really good gains, average daily gains. I don't typically like to have November kids. I was kind of worried about winter time, seeing how the kids would grow out, because we like to have the kids right about weaning, ready to turn out on the pasture. And they're right about weaning age, and all we've got's Oklahoma brown. But seems to be doing okay. We just feed prairie hay. They have free choice prairie hay. Of course, here's Cheddar Bob. Old Frodo. Our neighbors will let us graze the goats over in their pasture, but their goat fence is not dog fence. We've got tons of coyotes out here, so summertime Frodo goes out with the goats. He's a fixed mini mule and has just enough attitude. We've not lost anything yet. And my dogs, 2-year-olds. You done, puppy dogs? These are actually sisters, and it's a great working team. Now let's go look at some of the other critters around the farm. This is actually our peacock house. If y'all follow me on Facebook, you know that we've had problems with the top net, so I've moved the peacocks and the turkeys out of here. But we've got these 2 turkeys in here. Those are the boys' show goats. We put them in here because that building's a better building than what we had them in. And they can't run with the other goats. They don't have horns to protect themselves, so they're living in the peacock house right now. What in the world? I think that's sun that I'm trying to see. Do you see it? There's the sun. Haven't seen that in days. The turkeys are excited that we've got sun. This building used to be our quail house. It was separated into 8 different pens. We had all sorts of quail in here. They had free flight. Although they were on the ground at the time, we also had a bunch of natural branches and all that. That's why there's so many doors here. Since then, we've got it just divided down into 2 areas. We moved the turkeys in here. Then down on this end of the building, we have the peacocks. Here's a little girl. Every year, peacocks will molt their train. Their tail feathers are actually, most people call that their tail, but that's their train. Their true tail is underneath there. But they lose their train every year, and he's finally growing his back out, or has been since about Christmas time. He'll get somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 feet long when it's completely grown out by this spring. But as you can see, this is a lot safer for them than where they were at with their net. This is a lot smaller area than what they are used to or care for, but it's certainly a lot safer for them. So they've been living in here in this winter. Gardening season's coming up. I don't even want to look that direction, but that's our greenhouse. I have to clean that up and get it ready to go again this spring. It seems like after the spring grow, normally about midsummer or so, that becomes a collect-all shed. So I've got to clean it out every year just so that we can put plants in there and start our growing season. We'll take a walk down here and see what the creek's doing. Shooting range. Again, our goats are the doe herds out in that pasture. Well, it's certainly down from where it was, but it's way higher than it normally is. Well, hope you've enjoyed our little walk around tour, and stay tuned till next time. Y'all take care.